Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the interruption.
You're now tuned into the Humbly Arrogant podcast. It's the antagonist himself, Rock B. Wildin.
The bald-headed baddie, DK Vega.
And this the Rebel RHOME. It feels so good to be back.
And we back, episode 56, and we have a special guest today. I reached out to this man. This man, I'm pretty sure, is very busy, has a very busy schedule. And I reached out to him because I actually follow him on TikTok. And funny thing about this was I was referred to by a woman about his content, and she actually enjoys your content. So I decided to check him out. He is life coach, game advisor, host of the Captain Saver Bro podcast. You might follow him on TikTok. He goes by the name of King Dre.
What's up? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's going on? I appreciate you, bro. Like, it's funny when you reach out to people. It's like sometimes, they give you a runaround. Like, you responded real quickly. You was mad professional. I appreciate that. Like,
yeah, you
100%.
gotta be. I mean, your word and your reputation is everything. I treat people how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
It's the same. When I was first starting, I didn't really like how it's the same. People give you the runaround and just I got you, and you don't hear back from them no more. I don't want to contribute to that. I don't want to be that guy. I got to stand up about my business. It just makes everything better. So yeah, I appreciate that though, and I appreciate you for having me on.
Nah, yo, thank you. You doing us a favor. You know what I'm saying? So
you doing me a favor too. It's all a value exchange. You understand?
Right.
So it's not. I don't look at it like, oh, I'm bigger or I got all these followers, so I'm doing them a favor. No, if I can come and I can spread my message, I don't care if one person here, that's enough for me.
Right.
You understand? So that's all I'm trying to do anyway.
Appreciate you, King. I appreciate you. Now, before we get into the show, I wanted to because I seen you've been doing this for I think I read or I heard somewhere you was doing it for about 3 years, right?
Almost four.
Four. So you've been 4 and again.
Years.
So I want you to explain to the people like what exactly like you're known for if they don't know about you. I'm saying you can follow him on TikTok, Instagram's King Dreism.
Mm-hmm. I'm known for I call myself Captain Saver Bro. I'm known for giving people anxiety because I tell the truth, right? So if you have a question, I'm not going to make you feel better about it. I'm going to tell you what I believe the truth to be. Right. So if a guy come and he said, hey, man, hit me in my DM. He said, hey, man, my girl took a break. She said she wanted to take a break. What does that mean? Most people will try to make him feel better about himself. I'm not going to make you feel better about yourself because that's not going to help you. What's more than likely happening is we already know when women decide to take breaks from men. That's what's more than likely happening. It's probably somebody else. So I'm known for stuff like that, but I don't do that in an attempt to like be edgy or whatever. I'm just trying to help men not be taken advantage of, which is why I started doing this in the first place. I don't like for men to be taken advantage of. Yeah, do I teach men how to get laid and all of this stuff? I don't know if I can curse, but all of this stuff. Of course, I teach men how to win, but I don't teach them to exploit anybody. There's nothing in my content that says exploit, take from, exploit, take from, lie, cheat, or nothing. I'm anti all of that, but I do want a man to win, and I do want the man to get the best out of his situation, and I don't want men to be taken advantage of. So that's pretty much what I'm known for, Captain Saver Bro, and I got to tell you the truth. So, but sometimes the truth can be edgy and it offends a lot of people, I'm pretty sure you can see by my comments and stuff, but It is what it is. As long as a man can see my video and he can implement that and he won't be taken advantage of, I did my job. Everything else in between, I don't really care about, if that makes sense.
What's crazy that I noticed about you and what I noticed about especially getting into the TikTok game, I don't do exactly what you do, but I do it in the form of comedy.
Right.
And shit that you talk about, I make into skits. And I noticed that it seems to be like the more hate you get, the more polarizing you are on this app. Do you feel the same?
Yeah. At first, because I was new to being viral when I got on
Right.
TikTok. I had a decent following on YouTube. I don't say decent. It was kind of iffy on YouTube and Instagram, but TikTok is really what took me over the edge as far as like popularity.
Right.
So I wasn't ready for that type of shit. Like, to be honest, people want to be viral and they swear they want to be. That's not, not for the weak, right?
Uh-huh.
But in the beginning, I definitely played to the hate. So, I would get a lot of comments from the women because, TikTok show your stuff to everybody, not just your followers like Instagram and YouTube. So
Yeah.
I would be getting like the feedback from the opposing side. And in order to rub it in their face more, I would be more polarizing. So I would say something like, this is how you keep your woman in line, right? And when women hear that, I'm not a dog, or, this is how you keep your woman in
Just about
check.
to say that's a dog whistle.
But no,
And
but
you know it.
no. But you got to understand, right? This is how we talk to each other.
Oh, I didn't say it was a bad thing. I just
Right.
said that's a dog whistle.
What you mean?
Like, a dog whistle is a sound that only dogs are going to be able to hear, right?
Oh,
So when you say keep your woman in check, that is something that is going to trigger a woman on some keep me in check. How? You're
right. But yeah,
immediately gonna elicit a reaction. Again, not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah,
just
but
saying
we don't,
that that's
when we
purposeful.
talking, I'm pretty sure, when we talking to each other as men, I'm not meaning it in a bad way, like put a leash on your woman and have her walking on her knees. This is just how we talk amongst each other. We talk about this about our kids, or even he say, hey, when you come out to the club with me, you need to keep your ass in line and stay in check so we don't fight. We talk about this. We talk to each other like this, right? And so back to the point, and I was just talking about this on the podcast that I'm recording, this very thing about how women don't really understand us. So keep them out of what we're talking about, right? But when I would say something like, this is how you keep a woman in check. And I deliberately go out of my way to make my message for men. And I speak it in a man's language because I'm not talking to women and this ain't for women. Does that mean I hate women? No, I love women with every inch of me. But this conversation is strictly for men with what I'm doing. So I don't go out of my way to appease to a woman's ears. And I'm never going to do that, right? So in the beginning, I would say stuff like that. I still do. And in the beginning, they would be like, I'm not a dog and all of this shit. And so I would come back and make a more polarizing video, not necessarily attacking the person, but attacking the mindset that these women have on my shit, which would spiral some more hate and more virality. So I do that. I don't do it so much now because, again, a lot of that attention comes with negative. You end up in the wrong Discord group and they come and flagging your page down and all that crap. So I kind of don't do it as much now. I still do, just depending on how I feel. Like, I did a video not too long ago, and it was a bunch of those chicks about, oh, you must be insecure and this and this and that. And so in response to that, I said, alpha females are useless. Just the next video I did, because it was basically in response to all of the comments that I was getting from the women on that. And so my next thing, I titled it kind of crazy to, you got to get the eyes at first.
Yeah.
I do stuff like that. You're right. Right. I do.
All right. So and my last question before we start getting into the show, 1 million followers, bro. Like you hit a million on TikTok, like,
yeah.
And you still humble. You know what I mean? Like, how does it feel like reaching 1 million, and does it change? Are they like asking you to put out content regularly, or you just work on your own time? Like, how is that?
I pretty much always worked on my own time because I'm about like freedom and happiness. So
right.
if it don't make me happy, I'm more happiness over money. I love my money, don't get me wrong, but if I had to pick, it's happiness, right? It's mental health. So it don't feel, I feel the same. It don't really feel different. Now, at first, I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of crazy. It's like, damn, like when you think about 1 million people, just think about what 1 million people will look like.
Exactly.
At first, it was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, I have 1 million people. I have a strong reach. And that made me more so tone down when I start growing a lot, tone down antagonizing people. Like, I would antagonize certain mindsets, not necessarily the type of woman, but I would antagonize the mindset. but I would do it in a way that wouldn't get me banned, and to do it to trigger people. But the bigger I got, I had to realize I don't want to, that ain't what my message is for. You see what I'm saying? But I am human at the day, and these comments are bothering me. You see what I'm saying? So, but the bigger I got, I did realize that. That was one of the things that when I saw that just when I first hit that million, I was like, damn, I got to be careful now, because this is a lot of people, and I'm responsible for a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? Now with my voice. So yeah, but I still feel the same. I still dress the same. You know, sometimes you go, hey man, what's up? But I don't know. I don't feel like a celebrity.
Does TikTok, like, they ask you to, like, you know, be like full-time content creator for them, and, you know, like, because a lot of people, like, we talk about this, like, when you reach a certain point, let's say on Instagram or social media. Oh, did we lose
my bad, my camera.
Now you good. So when we reach like a certain point on like social media and stuff like that, you know, they kind of like require you to we'll get into that more. So we're gonna start the show.
Let me get my the thing right. My camera kind of burned out.
Yeah,
real quick. I hope you can. Y'all recording, right? Do y'all edit this? Can you edit this?
Yeah, we can edit this out.
All right. Switch the other one on.
Rome, you gotta pause it. I don't have access. All right, yo, starter. All right, so we're gonna get into our opening segment. This is called Beginners Therapy. And Beginners Therapy, we all go around and we share something like we probably would talk about in therapy, or it don't even gotta be necessarily, you know, therapy. So you could just follow our lead on that. Anybody want to go first, or should I go first?
I'll go first.
Oh wow, Kay going first?
All right, relax. Relax.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, okay. So the reason why I want to go first is actually to kind of piggyback off of our guest, right? With beginners therapy, we tried to, like Rock said, talk about real life issues, right? Or things that we would talk to a therapist about. And in all honesty, while I do have a lot of fuckery, that's also how I use my Twitter, right? And I use my Twitter to kind of think out loud, but also, you know, use my favorite word on the show, A, for accountability. Also to hold myself accountable, right? Because I feel like once I put it out there and it's in writing, like now you can't play the victim anymore, because not only do you know, but everybody else knows, right?
Right.
And this last week, I tweeted something that got responses that kind of annoyed me. So I would like to vent about that and share. And what I said was, I be trying hard as hell to prove my worth because I've never felt worthy. The problem is, it's easy to take advantage / be unappreciative of someone who tries too hard, which just leaves me feeling even more undeserving. It's a very ugly cycle, and I don't know how to break it, right? Now, this is obviously something that, you know, I'm putting in the self-work to address, right? It's something that I'm acknowledging is an issue and something that's like in progress. But people telling me, girl, you gotta work on you. No shit, Sherlock.
He's up, champ. All right.
No fucking shit, Sherlock. Like, you think?
Okay, this is why
I
we
said
call you
specifically.
A unicorn.
Huh?
This is why we call you a unicorn, because a lot of women in the world, a lot of men in the world wouldn't even make that statement to themselves, right? Like knowing that you have some kind of a toxic cycle that you go through. And so I would definitely want to commend you for that. Just putting that out in the world. Like,
thank you.
That's tough.
I just it pisses me off because like I specifically said I don't know how to break this cycle. And niggas are coming at me with, oh, you gotta love yourself. Did I not just express that I don't know how to do that? So if you're not giving me explicit instructions or creative ideas on how to do that, shut the fuck up.
That's the internet though, bro. Like,
nah,
niggas...
shout out to the people that sent me books, because that's actually productive. Okay. But I just, this holier than thou, like, not. The internet thinks I'm fucking dumb, apparently, and I don't like that shit.
They think everybody's dumb. That's just that's regular shit though. Like they just always think everybody dumb type shit.
So yeah, so I wanted to say and share that, because I think having a life coach is a great idea, right? Because when it comes to therapy and therapists, of course, you have, like, they have an excessive amount of schooling or study, or, you know, maybe a specific area of knowledge. But similar to, you know, how I try to reach out and mentor people or be there for people who are in similar situations that I've been in, I feel like even being able to define yourself as like a life coach is pretty fucking cool. We need more people like that out there, because these people do not know how to give advice.
Rome, you want to go next, or I'll go next?
Yeah. So, how do I word this properly? I'm truly fascinated, and it's probably just because I'm from New York and I don't really see it as much. I'm truly fascinated at the fact in which some people rush to get married. This girl I used to talk to, right? I was talking to her not maybe like a little over a year ago, and me, her, like, you know, her friend was cool, and her friend was dating somebody at the time, and so I'm scrolling through Instagram, and her friend is getting married, but it's not to the guy that she was dating at the time. And I'm like, what? Like, that's mad fast to be getting married. I understand being in love and you wanting to be with the person you want to be with, but I believe meeting somebody less than a year and you already planning a wedding is just way too fast. Like, you don't even know this person.
I mean, you don't know that. She might have known him before she was dating whoever.
Did you ask that question?
I didn't, but I know that the friend group and how they just like, this is what they want. Like this, like, I gotta get married. Like,
how old are they?
Early 30s.
Oh yeah, that's yeah, they don't play. The women in their 30s don't play.
Like, I'm really just okay, stupid. I'm really just like, it's really fascinating to me. Like, I guess because I never seen it in real time. Like, you know, you from New York, chicks from New York don't be really trying to, you know, cuff nothing. Like, it's just, I was like, wow, like, that's crazy.
I think some of that obviously has to do with, you know, society, biological clock, etc. But, you know, to cape for the women, which I do very rarely, let's be honest, right? I think it's fair to say that by the time you're 30 something, I would hope you have enough relationship experience to know what you don't want. Enough that when what you do want is right here, you're not gonna fuck around, right? Because while getting engaged in less than a year is Not something I can see myself doing. Did she propose?
I don't know.
But I'm saying, right? If she didn't propose, that means he was ready to get married in less than a year. So she obviously found a nigga on her timing, or someone, you know, pussy enough to be manipulated into a situation like that. And maybe that's what she wants.
I did not think you was gonna say some shit like that. That is
what?
I didn't think you would make a comment like that. You took me by surprise.
What part of it took you by surprise?
The pussy enough to be manipulated into that.
Oh, like, yeah, no. Women bully men all the fucking time, and they I don't want somebody I can push around like that. That's trash.
So you get it.
I got no words. No, I don't got no rebuttal wrong.
I'm just saying, I understand. All I'm saying is I understand where your vent comes from. I do.
Yeah.
I would challenge you to open your mind up a little bit to the different mitigating factors.
You know what?
She might be pregnant.
In response to my man, right? I used to think that and before I started doing what I'm doing, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Before I started doing what I'm doing, I used to think that all men were like me, like they just, was on some player shit. Didn't really. I don't care about commitment. I don't care about being in relationships. But just my way of going about things, my mentality. I used to think that most men were like that, and most men were able to do what I'm doing. When I came into this arena, I thought that I was only speaking to a lot, like a very small pool of men. The majority of men are not like me or you or anybody else. The majority of men are not like that at all.
The majority of men are insecure.
The majority of men are insecure, but the majority of men are struggling to find a woman that they can just be with and take care of forever. Women's voices are loud, right? And so they're all complaining about a certain type of guy. And that guy, the guy who don't commit and he's the fuck boy and all of this shit, this guy is sleeping with all of them. The rest of the 90% of guys really don't even exist to a lot of women as far as, that type of attention, especially when a woman is younger. So what I'm saying is a lot of the times, most of these types of guys, when they don't take a lot of them 2-3 months and they ready to just, fuck it, I found her, let's do it. Because it's scarce for them. A guy like me, I'm like, I can get pussy and sex and cooperation and submission, and I know how to get that from any. You see what I'm saying? So it's no rush for me. But a lot of guys don't look at it like that. As soon as a woman smiles,
as soon as a bitch.
It's okay. But I don't know.
It's okay.
Now on my platform, I do the bitches and hoes, right? Not out of hate, but
it's okay. I do niggas and fuckboys.
Wait, now, okay, we got a lot of women listeners.
I'm okay, and I do plenty of niggas and fuckboys. So we're gonna keep it unbiased and fair.
Right. We just I just like to respect people's house. That's all. But you come over my house, you say bitch and hoe over here, right? But it ain't no disrespect though. But just how we talk, right?
Right.
We got to do better, of course. But I ain't there yet. But
do we?
I think so. I think, and to be honest, that allowed me when I was younger to mistreat people by not humanizing them. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Even when I used to be in the, ripping and running the streets, it's easy to say, go kill that nigga. But it's hard to say, I'm gonna go kill my brother. Fuck that bitch. Bitches ain't shit. Now say that good woman is a piece of shit, or that queen is. You see what I'm saying? So, a lot of the time,
she's a good woman or a queen, then
I'm a fuck. Queens ain't shit, or that woman ain't shit, or my mama ain't shit. It's hard to say stuff like that, right? But when you put derogatory names on people, it's easy to mistreat them and exploit them. I do understand that.
I get what you're saying.
I get that. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still bitches and hoes. That's just how I talk. That's how we talk. But
Where you from again? I'm sorry.
I'm from Florida. I'm from Tampa.
Okay.
And I'm from Tampa, Florida.
All right.
Yeah, but but like I was saying, most guys, as soon as they get a woman, the average guy, they doing everything to hold on to. As soon as she smiled at them, they ready to go all in. And I know because I have to coach guys not to be like that. This is what my work is about. Because a lot of the times these guys go in and they don't vet the woman. See, guys like who players and they know better, like my man, he know like a year, that ain't enough for me to see what you about, right? He know because he got options. He know I ain't in no rush. I can be, I can do my thing. I can tell.
Talking
right?
to the right nigga.
You feel what I'm saying? He know, right? But if he was a guy that was struggling, right, and didn't know where his next piece of ass was gonna come from, his next piece of validation was gonna come from, the minute he get it consistently, he ready to lock it in. And this is the plight of a lot of guys. And I actually have to coach them not to be like that, because that's how you get taken advantage of. But again, me coming into this space, I thought everybody was like me, and that's how I got 1 million followers. Most of them guys are suckers, bro. And
let me go next, Kay. Let me go next. Go ahead, Kay.
Okay, just real quick. I just want to say that, like, while you're talking, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, damn, I've never had a nigga do that. I've never had a nigga that was just like, oh shit, she here, I'm locking it down immediately. And I find that interesting because me and these two dudes have had multiple conversations about the type of dudes that I talk to.
Yeah.
And the types of dudes that I talk to are ambitious, they have money, they're attractive, and I don't ever run into this shit. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Rock be talking shit about me only dating top 5% type niggas. That was making sense.
Yeah, you got to come with it.
None of them is pushover.
Bring a player on
like them niggas.
This to make sense.
Any fucking time. Anyway.
You got to.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got to come with it, because a nigga like me, listen, you're a dime a dozen. I'm not saying that to be disrespectful, but
there's literally more bitches than men out here. I
talked to a chick today, right? Very, very attractive. Because sometimes I get on. Right now, I'm doing my build my business thing. I ain't really too hard heavy in the streets like that as far as dating, but sometimes I turn my dating apps on just to hone my skills and show the guys this is how you do it, right? Talk to a woman today, got her phone number, 5 minutes, very, very attractive. 5 minutes, she gave me 10 seconds of lip wrestle. We didn't agree, and she was lip wrestling with me. I was like, I gotta go. That's it. Like, I hit you back up later, and I never call her again. So when you
charge it to the game.
You see what I'm saying? When you have that many, it show you my dating app, it's women on woman on woman on woman on woman on one. A lot of them might just be wasting their time. I ain't gonna lie, because I don't plan on doing nothing because I'm chilling right now. But when you see this type of options, and this is what guys don't understand, that women have these types of sexual options too, which is why in today's era, you can't make as many mistakes as you could back in the day, because women are on to the next. The minute you even breathe wrong, you see what I'm saying? But, guys who are like that, guys who are like that, right? Guys who are like that, who are on that, on that wave, and they have those options, you have to do something to stand out. I don't know if I'm going to tell you what it is, but you have to make yourself stand out. And there's low effort ways to go about doing things like that to make yourself stand out from the crowd, because at the end of the day, who are you? Especially if you're problematic, especially if you got baggage, especially if you like to lip wrestle and all that shit. You see what I'm saying? It gets you gone fast. And the thing is, you pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, right? You gotta, I don't know, I didn't want to break your thing down what you were saying, because I know you was getting, but I don't know. We'll leave that for another conversation. But
yeah, because we got a lot of show left. Real quick, I wanted to say something to piggyback what you were saying, Dre. My man, he kind of like you, and he has this quote that he always says. He always says, "Pussy runs the world to men who struggle to get it."
Boom.
He always says that. So
I'm about to bring my man on.
Yeah,
that's real.
So let me jump into mine real quick. I guess I'm gonna go in a different direction. I want to talk about motivation real quick. because people often tell me about myself. Rhome, though, I'm always getting all types of criticism, especially off the shit I say on the show. But I want to talk about motivation, right? Because I don't think it's one way to be motivated, right? So I went on a rant on my Instagram the other day, and I was talking about how a lot of my motivation comes from, I ain't gonna lie, revenge, handling vendettas, stuff like that, right? I have one dream. The dream is to be a full-time content creator. The dream is short. Multiple things can derive from that dream. But I have a long ass shit list. And I have a lot of people on my shit list. And I'm tired of people telling me it's wrong to be motivated by what I'm being motivated. My motivation comes from checking off names on my shit list. I often compare it to like basketball, right? Let's speak about Jordan. Yes, the ultimate goal for Jordan was to win a championship. But you think he not thinking about, nah, I gotta burn Magic. I gotta kill Isaiah. Oh, Larry Bird, yeah, he's on the hit list too. It's 82 games in a season. You're not motivated for every fucking game. But you get up for certain one, you get up for a lot of them, depending on who's on the other side of that court. So what I wanted to say is, stop telling me that my motivation is wrong. We're all motivated for different reasons. I just watched King Richard, and part of the story that they're not talking about is when Serena was watching Venus. Venus was the star. A lot of people forget that because Serena is so great. Venus was the star when they were younger. And Serena had a hard time coping with that. And she had more motivation to she wanted to be better than her sister. Her sister was in the limelight. Her father paid more attention to her sister. She wanted to be greater than the sister. If you watch The Last Dance with Jordan, a lot of people miss this part. The reason he's motivated in the way he is to play basketball came from the fact that his brother was getting more attention, and he felt like his father loved his brother more, which turned him to a bad motherfucker. I say all that to say this. Everybody has different things that motivate them, and nobody's wrong for the way they're motivated in any kind of way. That's all I had to say. Just to look at shit in a different light. Everybody should just whatever your reason is, what your reason is, and just respect people's reasons for being motivated to do better. It's not like they're motivated to do worse. They're motivated to do worse, then that's a different story.
That
better
was the distinction that I was gonna make.
Right. Like
if your personal vendetta, your motivation is striving upwards, right? Someone's better than you. You're trying to prove a more positive outcome than what's currently being expressed, then I agree. I don't really care what the motivation is. I mean, shit, I work out to look good when I'm having sex. That's my motivation. It's not to be healthy. It's not so I can live longer.
Right.
It's not so, I can do whatever and provide from. I'm trying to have a nigga look down and be like, damn, yeah, I'm not going nowhere.
One thing about Kay, she gonna give you a soundbite, boy. Yo, she gonna give you a promo clip, yo. I swear to God, bro. All right, Dre, you got anything you want to talk about real quick?
Shit, I ain't know it was gonna be I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna take you by surprise.
Therapy. I don't know, bro.
Nah, you good. You can move on. It's cool.
Shit.
We get into
I don't know, bro.
All right. No doubt, it's not for everybody. All right, so I ain't gonna lie, man. You spent a lot of games so far, right? But every hero has an origin story, right? You couldn't possibly woke up one day and said, I'm a player. So, was it a specific event or a girl that turned you into King Dre?
No, I know that sounds crazy, but not really, bro.
Nah?
You gotta think, bro. Well, you know where we come
Nah, I don't
from.
believe it.
What?
Word,
I don't
bro.
believe it.
I was
Even if it
were
wasn't.
both of your parents in your life?
Nah, nah. Let me tell you, right? We come from a culture and of bitches ain't shit. Uh, bitches ain't shit, and fuck these hoes, and fuck this hoe, and so you coming up listening. My mom had me when she was 15, and so she was listening to 8 Ball and MJG. Pimping hoes was some shit that came easy to a player, right?
Wait, how old are you, bro?
I'm 37.
Okay, okay.
I'm 37, right? So
Okay.
my mom had me when she was 15. So young minded, my dad in prison for murder, right? My dad went away when I was like 6. So the streets is raising us. TV, rap music and shit. So this is what it is. Now, I didn't was like, oh, I'm just gonna have this one girl and this one girl breaks my heart. It wasn't that type of thing with me, right? Have I got my heart broken? Probably more than anybody I know, right? But it wasn't like on some shit like I'm just giving this woman my all and I'm just trying to treat her right and she just do me so dirty. It ain't never been that with
I don't
me,
believe
right?
it.
Yeah, I swear to God on my life.
I don't believe it. Even if it wasn't obviously like you said, you grew up the streets taught you, but from what it sounds like to me, you started dating at a young age, right?
Right.
So
It was always get hoes, get hoes, get hoes. Now have I had a girlfriend? Of course, right? But there was nothing that made me like, oh, I'm finna just fucking just run through these hoes. It was no incident that made me say that turned me cold or no shit like that. Bro, I was
not necessarily an incident, but I can imagine as an adolescent, as a teenager, you had a girl that you was really rocking with. Like, all right, I'm really rocking with her. I'm really
but
rocking with her,
even
and
then,
something
even
happened.
then, I was cheating on her, bro. See
Wait,
what I'm
so
saying?
Yeah,
wait,
but you
I'm
could wait. We all know as men, you could be cheating on somebody, but when she cheat back, it hurt.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. I got my heart broke a million
Right.
times, but I didn't have this fucking. Yeah, I
Yeah,
done
like
got my heart broke.
let's not
But
pretend like
what he's
every
saying
Yeah,
is that he's always been a savage.
yeah,
It
wait,
don't
wait,
it
nah.
don't it
that's
don't
not
matter.
what made me to be like, oh, I'm just gonna mistreat hoes now. That that
no, no,
that
no,
that's
no, no, no,
you know what
nah.
I'm
I
saying?
wasn't saying it necessarily had to be one instance, but I'm
Nah,
just
bro. I
saying.
walk up. I was a kid, bro, and I remember watching Pimps Up, Hoes Down, right? And even watching wrestling, and you seeing like wrestlers, they have all these hoes and shit. I'm like, I want to be like them with all the hoes, like listening to the music. So
That
this
was
is
that
what it
D'Lo
is.
Brown, right? That was
Yeah,
D'Lo
like
Brown.
I
Nah, the
was in seventh
Godfather.
grade. I was in
Talking about the
seventh grade.
Godfather.
I read Luke's book, As Nasty as They Want to Be. I was reading shit like that, looking at pimps and shit. So it's like it was my mentality to get hoes, because that's what I thought that the game was about. Now again, I'm a natural human being, so of course there was that girl who I clung to and shit like that. But I still was doing my thing. I still was. I don't want to say exploiting her. My first real girlfriend pretty much set the tone for how I want to be cheated, not cheated, but treated. Right? It was an Indian chick, right? And she would fucking buy me all type of shit. And, back in the days, you could call up to the radio station on the night show and give somebody a shout out. She would be giving, this is like when I was 12 years old in 6th grade and shit.
Wow.
So in my
Player shit.
mind, this is how every woman is supposed to treat me.
Well,
Right?
Dre, I got a question, Dre. So wait, your mom is raising you though, right? So I'm pretty
Right.
sure she'd tell you, this is how you're supposed to treat a lady. This is
Nah, my mom wasn't the only thing my mom hated, and I just got done talking about that too. My mom was not feminine. My mom's very masculine because my mom is
Mm,
ambitious and my dad wasn't there. So my mom wasn't the old baby, she gave me like masculine dad energy. Like you can be anything you want.
sound like my
What
mom. Yeah.
she didn't like was that I took from women. She didn't like that. She hated that shit. But I don't give a fuck. Like, I had this girl, she used to buy me all the Jordans. Like, uh, Just all the Jordans every time. And you know, back in the day, it wasn't no apps. You had to go stand in the line. And
stand
shit.
online. Yeah.
And she used to go stand in the line and spend her check. My mom hated that shit. You see, so it was stuff like that. But it's like, oh, you treat women like they special. She never taught me shit like that. You see what I'm saying? And to go back to my stories, what I'm saying is I always had these inspirations to be. I used to want to be a pimp before I started getting into the hustling and all that. I used to, like, when I wanted to be a pimp. So, you know, I always thought that, you know, it is what it is. And now the story of how I took it to the next level and started like truly learning was when my dad started teaching me, because my dad was incarcerated, right? And so there was this chick that I was in high school with, right? And I had my little chicks, and I had already lost my virginity and everything, but there was this chick, right, who I liked. And the dude that she was fucking with at the time was this nigga, gold teeth in his mouth, tattoos all on his face. He's so dope and all that shit. I wasn't on no shit like that when I was in high school, right? I had my little weed and shit, but this nigga was like one of them dudes, and she was like on him. And this, I couldn't get this chick, and it was fucking with me. Like I went like simp overboard with this chick. And my dad just so happened that I hadn't heard from my dad since I was like 6 years old, because he got locked up when I was like 6. At this point, I'm 14, 15, probably 16, maybe 15 to 16. And he write me one day. I get a letter, it's from my dad. And so I'm like, fuck all that shit he talking about, all this old do good and all that, you know, what how a father would try to reach out to his son. I wrote back, look, it's this chick that I like. What do I need to do to get her? And so I believe I'm gonna do an interview with my dad too soon, but because my dad was, I wanted to be like my dad, man. My dad was like that. You know what I'm saying? My dad was that type of guy. So, and I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be like my granddad, you know, rest his soul. You see what I'm saying? So they was like that. But I wrote my dad, I'm like, man, how I get this chick? Fuck all that shit you talking about. Right? Because I'm this chick making me feel bad. I'm doing all this simp shit, and she ain't really, but it's not coming from a place of like, this is the only chick. Because I had chicks that I was having sex with and a girlfriend, everything. At this point, I just wanted this chick, this Puerto Rican chick. She was beautiful, and I wanted her. So he taught me the game on how to get her, the manipulation shit. And I believe that was his way of like giving back to me and bonding with me. I think if it was any other scenario, he wouldn't have taught me how to do stuff like that. But in order to connect with me, because he was missing my whole life, I think he felt like he did what he had to do in order to connect with me. And so he started teaching me real evil dirtbag shit at a young age, and I started using it. And so me seeing the power in that at a real young age, that's the route I went. It wasn't this thing where a lot of guys have this shit to where they this good guy and shit, and they fucking just, a girl fucking them over and they just like, fuck it, I'm a dog. I came in the game like that. You know, not on no negative shit, but that's just what I thought it was, because that's all I saw.
Wait, I got a question. As a result of that, right? When Shorty did break your heart, that hurt even more because you said you didn't know no better.
Yeah,
so
it hurt worse because you think you the man, right?
Okay.
The first time, it's one thing, and I try to tell guys, my guys this all the time that follow me and that I coach, they think that I never went through stuff. I'm like, the shit that I went through hurt way worse. I'm not trying to minimize your pain, but it's one thing for a woman to cheat on you, right? And she barely having sex with you anyway. She fucking a headache. She pushing you out. She insufferable. It's another thing for a woman to cheat on you, and she provided you so much value, but the reason she cheated on you is because you wasn't giving her what she needed.
Wasn't we just talking about this last episode?
Because you was exploiting her. So it was stuff like that. I had a chick fuck my homeboy when I was like 18 years old. That shit burned. But I was a dirtbag to her too. You see what I'm saying? So I had another chick fuck my homeboy. Had a chick.
You need better homeboys.
Yeah, it was the same dude though. But this the thing, right?
He was still young. You still refer to him as your homeboy?
This the thing, right? Yeah, this the thing. And me being young and naive, right? This dude ended up crossing me later, right? Like y'all probably know. I'm not gonna say the name. I'll tell y'all off the air. But his brother is a very popular, very, very popular guy in the social media space. I tell you it is. We got the same tattoos and everything. It's his little brother is this guy. The guy who I'm talking about was my best friend. He's in prison now. right? He should be coming home probably, I don't know, the next 5 years, but he caught like 20 years. But we end up falling out over him being, I should have caught him off back
A
then, but
hater.
that's just my boy. It's like, we friends, bros over hoes, that type of shit. We ain't tripping about no hoes. We ain't falling out over no hoes. These hoes for everybody, that type of mentality. But, me, I'm thinking, fuck these hoes. But that shit burn. Like, I really like you. You see what I'm saying? And so he did what he did twice. I'm just saying this type of shit happened. I had another chick, the girl that used to buy me the Jordans. I remember she went and bought me the Xbox. You remember the Xbox first came out? She bought me the Xbox and everything. Went and bought that shit for me. All the Jordans that came out, the 19s that came out, not the 19s, the 12s. The 12s came out in 2004. They was releasing the 12s, right? In 2004. She used to stand in line and buy me all this shit, right? But I didn't know in my immature take, I didn't understand the value of giving back to women, right? So like how she's fed up with just pouring into niggas and pouring into niggas and pouring into niggas. I used to, that was my thing, to make chicks pour into me and pour into me and pour into me. Eventually they get tired of it. And so she hit me up one day like, hey, look, we can't do this no more. I'm like, what you mean? It's this guy at my job and that's what it is. Broke my soul because I think I'm the man. Crushed my fucking soul. I go to jail one time, right? I go to jail one time, chick I'm fucking with, looking out for and all type of shit. I hear through the grapevine, right? I call home. I'm like, hey, call my girl on three-way. My homeboy say that bitch ain't your girl. Don't call her that no more. Why? Nigga through the phones, like talk to him. I don't want to hear him because he talking crazy. Hey, old girl fuck with such and such and such and such and such. What? I call her, what you doing? And upset. She hang up on me. So now I'm in jail. She ain't picking up the phone for me, and I just got to eat this. I ain't eat for 4 days in that motherfucker. So I go through shit too, but it's a result of the things that I put out. But what I'm saying is these things didn't make me what I am. Let's like, fuck it, because I was already on that type of time, even coming into the shit. Like I didn't lose my virginity from like my girlfriend. I lost my virginity from a chick that was just like on some casual shit. You see what I'm saying? So
I think that's usually how it goes for most of us.
Huh?
I think that's usually how it goes for most of us.
I don't know. I just thought niggas was like fucking their girls and shit. Like in high school. I don't know. I was just some shit. It was like, hey, she own it. All right, cool. Let me go see.
Well, Dre, because let's get some, because I'm pretty sure they got some questions too. Y'all got some questions y'all got for them? Because I go all day.
I don't really got no questions. You just kind of summed a lot of it up. So what is it? When did you feel like you started making a change, right? Because you said your content is not about exploiting women and stuff like that no more. Or are you still in that space?
Nah. When I came into the game, I was already mature past that. You see what I'm saying? Like I got kids now and shit. And so
you feel like that's what changed you?
Like when you could see that the way you treating their mom is affecting your kids and they old enough to you seeing their behavior is bad because of the environment you have their mom in, that shit'll fuck with you. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm young at the time and I'm growing and I'm trying to better my life. I'm listening. This was when the internet started getting popular. I started hearing Dr. Umar and all this shit. This shit is affecting me and shit. And I started to realize like, damn, because you're starting to see black men that's positive outside of rappers and shit that's talking, some real shit. And so I'm like, damn. And then shit crazy and all type of shit going on. I got to change my life and do things different and shit. And I started to see that, the environment was affecting my kids and shit. You see what I'm saying? And so, I just started to try to do better. But then in me growing, I started to realize that it's okay with, it's okay for a woman to give, but most women ain't gonna give to you forever, right? And so I don't teach guys to exploit. I do teach my guys to make sure a woman is investing in you and giving, right? Because that was
reciprocating.
Right. And not even reciprocate. I believe that. I think a woman is the most feminine when she's giving and taking care of a man. That's what I've seen my whole life. But again, the problem comes in when we don't give back and then they get tired of that shit. So I don't teach my guys the toxic shit because they're not ready for the repercussions of the toxic shit, which is what I had to go through of being toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit my dad taught me and shit.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, women are evil. Women are evil, and I didn't understand that. Like that's something that I wish he would have taught me, like the repercussions of, you know, mistreating people, especially women, because they willing to take it to a place that most men can't even fathom. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It's just, you know, I just started to mature. Like when you're growing, you mature, you got kids. Then I had a fucking daughter. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, I don't want to be that fucking dude. And I wasn't no bad guy. Like I don't beat on women and shit like that. But I run you to the ground. I had you doing some shit that, you know, you shouldn't be doing and compromising your freedom and all type of shit. I get some money up at you the whole nine. Like I'm that type of dude and won't give you nothing back but sex.
Wait, Dre. So wait. I got another question, Dre. So you mentioned that you have a daughter, right?
Right.
So now, let's say you fast forward, your daughter's now 15. You got to teach her the game, right?
Yeah.
You want to teach her the game?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna spoil my daughter. Like I don't think guys should spoil their daughters. But yeah, I'll teach her. But at the end of the day, I want her to be with somebody that I was when I was 15 or when she date. Now, right. The man that I am now, I would hope that she would meet the man that I am now. But I wasn't always this type of man when I was 25 and 26 and 20 and shit. I would hate for her to meet a guy like that. But sometimes it takes for them to learn the hard way. So it's probably going to happen, right? Regardless of what I teach her, I always have my daughter's back. But one thing I'm not going to do is spoil her.
Okay.
Because that makes spoiled people make the world sour. So
I got a question, Dre. So I was doing my research on you, and you got this theory. I was listening to your last podcast, right? And you call it chargeophobia.
Yeah.
And you said the definition of it is a fear of dismissing women.
Yes.
I need you to speak on that a little bit.
Chargeophobia.
Chargeophobia, my fault.
Chargeophobia. Guys are scared to let the women go that violate them. You see what I'm saying? And women exploit the fact that you won't let them go. I tell dudes, the worst thing you could ever say to a woman is, I'm scared to lose you. I truly believe that women, and it's sucky, it's a hard thing to swallow, but women, you have shitty people, but most women pretty much respond to how you are. I've had women around me treat me like a king. Some guy call them and they curse him out. And in my mind, you'll never talk to me like that. And they just treat them like dog shit. You see what I'm saying? Is that woman a bad woman? I don't know, because she wasn't bad to me, but it's just based on how the man, you know, how he's representing himself. And so a lot of guys are scared to check women when they do something wrong, check women when they start yelling at them or call them out their name in order to go along to get along. Or like I say, a lot of guys don't know where their next meal coming from. And when I say meal, I mean consistent pussy and validation, right? A lot of guys don't know where their next meal coming from, so they hold on to shit, right? And when the woman see that, there's no boundaries, there's no incentive to treat you right, they're gonna run fucking wild on your ass, right? And this fear is, I call it chargeophobia. You scared to charge a hoe to the game, basically. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what that is.
I think it's fair to say that that's a person thing, like regardless of gender.
Right. Of course. But when I say that,
no, I know you're speaking specifically to men, but I'm just.
Yeah, because I teach guys to make your woman scared of losing you. Right. And not by like fear tactics and shit, but provide so much value and be so different that, you know, she's scared to lose you. She have charged nigga phobia or whatever. I teach guys how to put that in their girl's heart. So, but will men exploit that? Yeah. You know, toxic men will exploit that. But most decent men don't mistreat women. Most decent men don't mistreat women. I used to think everybody was like me, and I'm telling you, most guys are not like that, right? So a guy, if a guy see that, like if I see now in my mature self, I see that my woman is afraid of losing me, that would motivate me to go harder. I wouldn't want to exploit that. I wouldn't push my luck to mistreat her in my healthy mind now. But most women will exploit that shit, healthy or not. If they don't have incentive to, treat you right, or or they know that they can push you and call you what you want, call you, whatever they want, call you out your name, they gonna do it. And the thing is, behavior only gets worse. It never stays stagnant. I got a thing called the 10 levels of disrespect, basically detailing how disrespect with women starts very small, like being combative, and it grows to ultimately them, cheating on you and shit. It turns into infidelity. So if your woman can see that, you scared to lose her, so she talking to you crazy, that behavior is going to turn her off because you ain't standing up for yourself. And then the ball going to start going downhill. Now she talking to you crazy. Now she talking to you crazy in public. Now she's spreading your business and shit. You see what I'm saying? It just gets worse and worse and worse to the point to where she turned off. Now she entertaining the niggas that's hitting her up in her inbox, right? Because she can't get that feeling from you no more because you're a bitch, right? So you catch her doing that, you still don't let her go. So now what's the next thing? Well, she ain't gonna do shit anyway. I might as well just jump on his dick. This how I go.
Where do you get this from?
Experience. Right? What you mean?
Experience that you went through, or is it something that you've?
As far as what specifically? As far as the way that women are?
Well, you said you talking about the 10 levels of disrespect, right? And watching a woman go through those progressive stages, like has that happened to you, or
yeah. Not only me, everybody else. You see what I'm saying? When you just think about it, right? Just think about it. And the thing is, we all pretty much the same with the same experiences, bro. I could say a cartoon and you'll know the cartoon. Or I could say something like, if I say, black parents want you to be in the house before the street light come on in the 80s. We was all on the same accord. There was no internet. So it was like that in New York and in Tampa. You see what I'm saying? We pretty much share the same experiences. That's why we all connect with each other. You see what I'm saying? So my experience with women is nothing unique. And I know if I'm going through it, so my homeboy's telling me about the time he got cheated on, and then you start to reverse engineer, and it started when she was being combative, and then it just grow. Of course, it's not the exact same way, you see what I'm saying? Right. But for the sake of putting out content, a lot of it is just experience, man. I dealt with a lot of women, so it's like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of it wasn't just like, oh, let me just smash. I wanted to like fucking control women's minds, bro. Like, so you have to go in a little deeper to do that, and when you do that, you get burned a lot. You see what I'm saying?
No, I definitely feel you, because I've been there. Like I was that guy, so I know that feeling, and I can
not too long ago.
I can speak to a lot of that.
You're not even like a year removed.
That's not true. I'm nowhere near the person that I was 10 years ago. Like you said, like 25, 26. Like I was way more toxic then.
Yeah.
Y'all, I don't know if y'all listen to early episodes of this podcast. To our listeners, y'all remember how toxic Rhome was? But go ahead. Sorry, I digress. Go ahead.
I wasn't toxic. I was just being honest in a lot of the ways that I felt, in, not wanting to carry a person's emotional like baggage. Like I didn't want to do that. And I was honest.
So what would women say about you if all the women you dealt with? What's the one thing that they'll say about you that's not in a favorable light? I know we all got that one thing. If you can sum up what you believe all the women in your life, or that's been in your life, that one thing that they would say about you, what you think it is?
A lot of times I let relationships drag on longer than they should have, and so when that starts to happen, I get cold. Like I get really cold. And they'll all say that. Like, nah, like he got really cold on me. And not even in no disrespectful way. It's just I'm a real touchy-feely dude when I'm with a woman. So when I'm off you, like you can tell, like you can feel it. Like
they feel that lack of desire.
Like, they can feel it.
Right. Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, that's real. Shout out to my boy. Dirtbags Unite.
Yo,
I like that question. What's something that all the women you've dealt with would say about you?
Oh
That's
yeah,
in a
that's a
not
great.
so negative, not
Not
so
that
positive light.
he not. It's you'd be hard pressed to get from some from. They call me like
Oh, you
I got this
stingy.
nick Grinch. Yeah, Grinch.
I call you the
Call me
Grinch.
Grinch. Yeah. A couple women call me Grinch. That's my Cash App tag. I still run with it to this day. Grinch Trey. But it's not that I'm not like, but if a woman got me, she can have everything. She can get the shirt off my back. See what I'm saying? If I fuck with a woman like that, I'm all in. But I was just taught, don't give a bitch nothing, especially if she ain't earned it. I was taught that as young. So
Yeah,
I always had that mentality. Like, I ain't getting a bitch, ain't getting shit out of me. I ain't going on my first date. What happened?
Nah, that's just that pimp mentality. Like I kind of like I recognize that.
Yeah, I was just taught that way. Like I didn't go on my first date, like take a woman out to eat until I was in my 20s. Like probably the first time I took a woman to a restaurant, I was 24, 25 or something like that. I was just always taught you don't do that. Let suckers feed them, like shit like that.
All right, so what made you take this one?
Start getting money. And it's like my homies doing it, and it's just the fly shit. It's like, yeah, take the hoe to the Cheesecake Factory and this and this and that. It's just like living doing a lifestyle type of shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And them avocado egg rolls be
just trying to do something a little. Just trying to do something a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like you start getting money, you want to experience things and shit. And so that's what one of my homies was on. He's like, man, this is, and I don't know, just trying to, live different, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So, but even still, it still was like, it ain't probably maybe one woman that can say that I gave her anything as far as like a gift or money or anything. Only one. Shout out to her because she got me good.
Oh my God.
that I gave her some money that she didn't really earn, and I had sex with her or anything like that. That just was never my thing. But what I'm saying is, if I like a woman and we together like that, or I give you can have what's mine is yours. Basically, it's hard for me to tell you no. You see what I'm saying? But most women I don't fuck with like that, so you ain't getting nothing from me. Cause I know this. I know because I done seen women come on dates, right? I done seen women call me after they leave a date, looking all good and shit, right? And I bust them down. And this clown just fed you and had you out. Thank you, bro. You gave her drinks, you fed her and all type of shit. So I never wanted to be that dude. You see what I'm saying? It was like, you don't do this. You don't fatten the frog for the snake. You don't get these hoes nothing. You'll go get that whole hair done and she'll use that same updo and be sucking the nigga dick with it. This is how I was taught. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they called me Grinch.
So who taught you? Like the big homies on the block?
My dad taught me
just
this
your
shit,
dad,
bro. My dad taught me this shit when I was in school, when I was in high school.
Hey, yo, what was we talking about last episode, Rome? Like, we talking about parenting. One of the quotes was, the father that you want to be versus the father that you need to be. You felt like
a couple episodes ago, yeah.
Nah, that was last episode. Do you feel that was the father he needed to be?
Oh, you talking about based on King Richard?
Yeah, based on King Richard.
No, I feel like we pick and choose that. I feel like we pick and choose that. If that's what you want to be, that father that is super like on your kids about sports and growing up. Like there's some dads that's about that I know personally, and that's cool. But everybody don't have to be like that.
Well, what about you, Dre? Like you feel like, because you said your father taught you all this shit, right? So you think that was the father he wanted to be, or the father that he needed to be?
Nah. I don't think he wanted or needed. I think he felt like he had to give me what I want in order for me to stay in his life. I believe that he felt like, I believe that he felt like, okay, I've been missing from his life and this is what he wants. So let me do this in an attempt to connect with him. You see what I'm saying? He didn't teach me shit about money and managing money and none of that shit. When he wrote me, I was asking about hoes and how to do this and how to do this. He taught me how to, 16, 15 years old, how to play on women with children, how to prey on them. He taught me this shit. You see what I'm saying? So, it's crazy as it is. It's just one of those, situations. Like, he was locked up and he wrote me on some, hey, do good in school. I was like, fuck all that. I don't want to hear that. what's up with these hoes? This bitch ain't giving me no play. How do I get her? And
All
he
right, wait.
taught me how to
What
pull
happened when
back
you
from
got
it.
her?
She moved. So she started jumping on my jock. I just ran back into her on Facebook, probably because I told this story for the first time maybe a few months ago. And while I was on the live, I looked her up on Facebook. She hideous now. And you know the crazy part about it? Crazy part about it, she with that same dude still. So that shout out to that nigga. Right?
Oh, that's crazy.
She's still with that same dude. She's still with that same dude. But I almost said her name, just you know what I'm saying. But yeah,
Get
so
these hoes that power. Don't give
yeah,
them that power.
she jumped on my jock. She ended up switching schools and I ended up moving to Miami probably maybe a few months later. So that really didn't really materialize to nothing, to something, but it changed the dynamic to where she started chasing me because he's taught me how to pull back from women, like how you incrementally pull back and ignore them and shit. You like, I don't want to say love bomb, but you show them attention and I learned this shit when I was in high school. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, and I used that shit on her and it worked like a charm. You know, it was all ego, basically how to play on a woman's ego. You see what I'm saying? To get what you want. So, yeah, but I don't believe.
Also known as emotional abuse, but whatever.
I mean, you're making it sound bad. I was a kid. Don't do me like that. They're gonna cancel me.
Can we call a spade a spade? I think we should call a spade because that's also known as.
I mean, no, and that's not emotional abuse. No, fuck that. No, this. Okay. How is that emotional abuse? You abusing me. You got me in the friend zone. You
are actively and intentionally manipulating someone's feelings to get what you want. That is emotional abuse.
Me too. She was being nice to me.
Did I say that she didn't?
You got to fight fire with fire.
Did I say that she did not? No. Okay. Right, all I did was identify what you described.
But yeah, don't use them therapy words, them fucking cancel him words.
Oh, don't be right. Bad. Okay.
You gotta say something else. Say you was running game on her or something.
Emotional abuse. Okay.
That sounds better than emotional abuse.
Yeah, okay, but I don't give a fuck about sounding better.
I feel you. We
gonna call it spade a spade because we're all about
accountability. I'm being accountable. I'm telling this stuff. I feel bad.
And me letting you know that qualifies as emotional abuse is me holding you accountable. I'm not saying that you still do it. I'm not saying that you were aware of what you were doing at the time. Obviously, we are more mature and better developed and all those other things as adults. But for the people listening to this podcast, if someone is hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold, and they're doing it to get what they want from you, don't be stupid. That's emotional abuse. Fuck out of there.
All right. So a lot of things, I don't want you to totally, because I'm pretty sure you get it all the time from your TikTok. I read your comments. They women be trying to bomb on you and shit like that. So you do hold men accountable too. Like I looked at a couple of, so I was looking at your tweets, right? And you do let men know like the game, like on some like telling men how to be and shit. So I read one of your tweets and you was like, you said to the men, like, women are not supposed to love and accept you at your worst.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Speak on that.
Yeah, people, we grow up in this fantasy thing. And let me say this too, like, when you see what I'm doing on TikTok, I'm not holding women accountable at all. I don't care if they're accountable. So, because a lot of people are like, oh, you know, you just like Kevin Samuels. I'm not. When Kevin Samuels was holding women accountable. I'm not holding women accountable. I'm just teaching you they bullshit so you don't get burned. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. But like as far as that tweet go, we grow up in this thing as to where, oh, you know, she a ride or die, and if she ain't with you when you're down, fuck her. And you know, but I don't think that it's healthy to even be attracted to a person when they're in a low state. You see what I'm saying? But I think as guys and people in general, we kind of manipulate people into being around us when we toxic and miserable and shit. I think that's a manipulation ploy. Oh, if you ain't around me when you're down, then fuck you. No, why would I want to be unless I'm a genuine person who's a leader, right? Or I'm a healer, or I'm some fucking charity work, right? Why do I want to be around something that's negative, you know, that's in the dirt, that's going to pull me down? Why would I want a woman who's in a low mental state, who's in depression and fucking everything that move and smoking weed or whatever she doing every day, and she ain't got it together? Why? Like, what healthy man wants something like that? So what healthy woman would want a man who can't get it together? He insecure as fuck because his money ain't together. He ain't confident. He broke. You see what I'm saying? Like, he ain't trying to do nothing. Like, what healthy person would be attracted to that? You see what I'm saying? And so, but we and sometimes in this culture, we say, oh, well, you started from the bottom and you wasn't with me shooting in the gym and all of this shit. Now, it don't really, you know, in reality, it shouldn't be like that. I side out people who come around me, namely, especially women, when I'm low, when I'm not don't have my shit together, or I'm in a low mental state. I kind of look at women that come around me funny, because like, what is it about me that's, I'm side-eyeing you now. Now, it's one thing for you to be in a situation with a woman and you fall and she stick it through with you. That's commendable. I appreciate that. And I think that we should do that with one another. You know, you with somebody you invested in, and then when they fall, you know what I'm saying? When they fall, you stick it through with them and you help them get back up. But for people to come around when you down, for men to expect women to just be with them because they broke and they fat, they insecure, they ain't got no confidence, they don't know what they want to eat, they can't pay no fucking bills, they don't know how to be a safe space for a woman, they fucking insecure, they going through the phone. Ain't no woman supposed to like no shit like that. I got a daughter, man. I'm not gonna teach my daughter to be fucking with niggas like that, dudes that's like that. You see what I'm saying? So, nah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. So if you want to get treated good, you got to treat yourself good. If you want the best, you guys be like, how I get dimes? You got to be a fucking dime to attract the dime. You feel what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but you could see the potential. I think women are better at seeing the potential
Yes,
than
of
men are in the
course,
women, right?
of
I
course,
think the right woman can help you execute your potential.
of course. I believe that wholeheartedly. But what happens to a lot of these women when they see this potential? They end up getting fucking burned. Now, if you very seldom do you see it, and I ain't caping, I'm just saying, if you really look at it on a, what's the story you hear from most women? I poured my all into that nigga, and I tried to help him do this, and I let him use my car to go to work every day, and had some bitch in my car and all type of shit, right? This is because they coming around men who don't have confidence, who broke, who don't got it together, who don't want nothing, despite his potential. Yeah, I'm not saying that if a woman sees some guy that's headed somewhere, right? And it's one thing to be broke but have your mind right. But I'm talking about a low state, meaning just all in general, not just because you ain't making $200,000 a year yet. But I'm just saying, lacking confidence, insecure, toxic, and this type of shit. You see what I'm saying? Which a lot of the time comes with, you know, your finances being fucked up. Because let's be for real, our ability to take care of ourselves and to generate resources is a large part of a man's confidence, right?
That's a fact.
So, you know, typically when dudes don't have it together, they don't have it together up here, right? A lot of that. I'm not saying that broke niggas, it ain't broke niggas out here with swag and all of that, but you know, typically that's what it is, and you know, what women do is they make a big mistake when they go and say, oh, this dude got potential, so let me go pour into him and give him a tax money and all this shit, and you get burned. Very seldom do you hear the story of, yeah, I poured my all into him and I helped him and he rose and took us to the promised land. You don't really hear that story too often. You hear
You
of,
don't hear that story too often because like begets like, and the women that are going after these niggas that don't have shit going for them don't have shit going for themselves. And
exactly.
the reason why they pour into these people is because it gives them validation.
What
That's
about
why.
this, right? Because this is what I
So what
believe. You
about
right.
so what about because right we live in this part of the culture now where men are helping women get their bodies done, and then they get the body done,
And they go
and
jump
now
on a
they
player
on
dick.
Yeah, I guess you want your thoughts on that.
Tricking. Yeah, trick over here, but yeah, that's
is it
whack.
tricking or is it an investment?
I mean, if you're a pimp or something, or if you got an OnlyFans site or you manage strippers and shit, and you you put
I'm
your
about to say, what niggas out here are really paying for bodies? Because let's be honest, I was approaching niggas with money on some cool. I need 6 months to recover. I'll give you your money back in 2 years plus 20% interest. What's good? Niggas with money who would not fucking miss the 10K, the 15K at all whatsoever. And they were not doing it. They were not with it.
It's the man.
So that's what I'm saying. So niggas that are doing that shit are niggas that don't care about the bitch and don't care about the money unless it's an active investment into a career, like with someone that they're already involved in intimate with. Niggas are not out here buying bodies like that. Bitches are paying half of the care credit and niggas is scamming.
Man,
okay.
I need to let you into my world as far as the type of dudes that's out here. These niggas,
I don't want them. I'm good.
Listen, I'm saying
I don't want them.
I didn't know this
because I will ruin their lives. I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want them. I'm good. I don't need that type of negative karma in my life.
It's dudes, man, that will give a woman anything just for talk to her. So I know a dude right now, I mean, he's doing a lot better, but when he first came to me, right, this dude's a gazillionaire, right? He's a Hollywood movie producer. I can't say his name, but when he came to me, if a bitch smiled at him, I put you in an apartment, whatever you need, I got you. And he couldn't understand why he was getting taken advantage of. Older guy, right? So, a lot of the older guys, they feel like they have to pay to play, right? Because younger women make them feel like that. But what I'm saying is there are a lot of guys who are doing dumb shit like this. A lot. Because I coach them motherfuckers behind the scenes. That's just doing wild
sometimes shit. I want that, but also like
that come with a lot of shit.
Pussy run the world.
Don't get
for niggas that struggle to get it.
I mean,
pussy runs the world. Listen,
I'm a sex worker. I have findom. I do foot fetish work. I have kinks pay. But there's a difference between that and what he talking about.
What you mean?
In my opinion, right? I feel like people who pay to play because their particular preference may not be socially acceptable. That's what I deal with, right? That's what I'm accustomed to in my world, field of vision, etc., whatever, right? But the average Joe or average gazillionaire who's just like nuts for a chick smiling, I don't think I've met any of those.
Yeah, they out there. The motherfuckers out there. You'd be amazed.
Is he black? Can I ask that question?
It's a white guy. That's a white guy.
That's what I thought.
Typically, a lot of these guys are white guys. I'm saying this.
Well, that might be tricks, yeah. That might be
a lot of these type of tricks.
There you go, okay? There you go.
A lot of them are white, older white guys, and this type of information is like it's common to us. Like my man, right? That shit. It's like the shit I'm saying is like cool, right? Because it's come from where we come from. They don't come from this world, so they don't understand a world where a woman will give you everything in order to feel something. They think that you have to give a woman everything for her to be with you. And so this is when they get money, the money don't change them. The money don't make them more like, well, shit, I'm gamed up now and I'm more attractive. It just amplifies who they really are. You see what I'm saying? These was the same guys that had to spend their last $100 to take a woman on a date. Right. But now they have money to blow and spend, and they think that they can buy a woman's love and affection. Right. And you see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's real out here. It's a lot of these cats out here. Again, I coach a lot of them in my groups. You see what I'm saying?
I got we ain't gonna hold you up because we're gonna wrap up the show. But so I got one question that actually kind of surprised me. Again, I was looking at your tweets and stuff like that. And it was in reference to Will Smith. And I was actually surprised on your take on that.
Right.
Because you seem to be somebody that's really big on respect. And you were talking about when women were talking about he didn't keep that same energy with August. And then you went on to say, tell me when Chris Rock or any other comedian violated someone in front of their family. And you were okay with him going up there and slapping him.
Not okay, but I understood it.
Well, you understood.
I wouldn't have did that. I would have called him backstage, but he would have had to see me about violating me like that. I wouldn't have did that like that. But I understand a man's trigger when he feels like he has to protect his family, despite how garbage she is. That ain't for me to say. He may not see her like that, and to him, that's his woman that been with him for 25 years and the mother of his kids. So when he see her discomfort, and I know because I have children to take care of, I have women in my life, and I don't like to see them uncomfortable. So initially, it may have been ha ha ha, but when you look over and see somebody in distress, I don't know if y'all have kids. Your kid ever fail, right? And you fucking laugh at first, but then you see that they really hurt. It instantly triggers something different. So I get that reaction. I wouldn't have did that like that, but I do understand, and I think that was very distasteful of Chris Rock, right? You got to respect people's family. You respect a man's wife. You respect. You leave a man's wife and children out of it. You see what I'm saying? Especially when it's something like that, where she may be going through something where she can't grow her hair. That's big for women. That's just like a woman making a joke about a man's, he got a little dick or something like that. Women in their hair, most women, and they are very sensitive about their hair. And the fact that it's one thing for you to chop your hair off on purpose and because you want to start over, or, you want to rock it low, but it's one thing to not be able to grow your hair. So I can understand the discomfort there. And I don't like Jada at all. I think she's the worst representation of what a man should want. I think she is the poster child for horrible women. I believe that wholeheartedly. But at the end of the day, my thing in tweeting that was to let these internet nerds know, because a lot of these niggas on the internet are nerds, and they don't realize that there's real world consequences for disrespecting people. And my point was, sometimes it could be a lot worse, because I've seen situations escalate where it started over words, and one man is in jail now and another one dead. You see what I'm saying? Over what a man thinks is disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? So that was really my point.
Yeah. All right, man. Yo, Dre, this was a great interview, man. I hope to have you on the show some other time, man. Yo, you was really one thing I can say about you really are yourself, bro. So anybody that looks at his content and really think like, yo, nah, son, not really like, nah, we just did a whole interview. He's really like that. Like,
I'm like that.
Word.
The young kid be like, he ain't got no drip. I'm 37 years old. I don't dress like that no more. I'm chilling. I'm a businessman, doing my business. So a lot of people be off put because sometimes I'll go without haircuts and shit like that, and I just be scruffy and shit. But it's all business at the end of the day. But I'm like that for real. It's ain't no bullshit. So
yo, anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, go follow me on TikTok, King Dreism, KingDreism, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can catch my show. I got a podcast called Captain Saver Bro Show on YouTube and Apple Music and Spotify. The Captain Saver Bro Show. Type that in, and I come right up. And I do appreciate y'all for bringing me up here. Shout out to my fellow ex-dirtbag, my man Rhome. I need to bring all of y'all individually, though. I'm gonna start having people come on my show, and I do like all of y'all personalities. Like I could, you know what I'm saying? I like y'all. So I do individually, like in the very near future, I'm gonna be reaching out to each one of y'all individually to bring y'all on my show. So I appreciate y'all for having me on, and hearing your perspective and making me feel bad about being emotionally abusive to women.
yo, and
what's your Twitter and your Instagram and all that?
Oh yeah.
King Dreism, KingDreism.
On everything?
On everything.
Yeah, on everything. But YouTube is different. It's the Captain Saver Bro Show. And Spotify and shit.
Also, I'm gonna plug you because you are a businessman. Yo, if y'all are interested, the man does do consultations. So if you're interested in getting more game or sharpening your game and your skill set as far as how to speak to women and stuff like that, you can be reached for a small fee, because nothing in this world is free. Hit that man up.
It ain't small. I would advise you guys to join the Patreon. It's a lot cheaper. And it's a group setting. But so basically I charge $500 an hour, right? For a one-on-one consultation, but you'll come out cheaper and better at a fellowship because I have groups to where I charge on my Patreon. We get together and we meet twice a month and we just chop up game. I answer your questions, examine your text threads. You got a problem, we listen to it and, you know, break your shit down and help. And it's not just me, it's other guys in the group as well. So it's like a kind of fellowship. So you'll be better off joining the Patreon and doing that. You'll come out way cheaper than to do a one-on-one consultation. Yeah, because I really don't like doing consultations. So
yo, much respect to you, man. And everything you got going on. Again, follow this man on TikTok. And as you can see, he really is who he is. And he really stand on what he be saying. So again, y'all can follow the podcast page. It's Humbly Arrogant Show. You please make sure you like and subscribe our YouTube page. We back on YouTube. We trying to get back into the YouTube feel. Make sure you cop some merch. We also sell Humbly Arrogant shirts. You know, click the link in the bio. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, ROC. Oh, and TikTok, ROC, the letter B, Wylin, WYLIN.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at I am the K Vega, IAMTHEKAYVEGA.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm working on the TikTok. I'm the old head here, so at the Rebel Rhome. That's the Rebel RHOME. Please don't forget the H.
Yo, and please, y'all, jump in K Vega DMs and tell her to get this TikTok shit popping because she's not doing what I'm saying. Yo, Dre, tell her like, yo,
all right.
Like,
it's not a kids app like they think. It's
yeah, bro.
That's where it's at.
They
that
banned me. They shadow banned me. I went low key viral and they took my shit down. So it's low key fuck TikTok. I don't follow anybody.
You gotta deliver the message a different way. That's what I had to learn in the beginning.
I wasn't cursing, I was twerking.
Yeah, you got it. It's a chick that I know. She do that type of shit, but she funnel them to her OnlyFans and shit. She do it in a different type of way, but it's not too sexual, but it's enough to get them suckers on there. So, you know, I don't know if we had to discuss that or something behind the scenes. She's definitely doing it.
We're gonna get K to 20K followers. I'm telling you, she ain't gonna stop. Once you see that first viral video of her talking, she ain't gonna want to stop. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of red pill content creators on there.
Very like polarizing. You do have a voice for it in the industry.
Right.
So.
See?
Thank you.
Heard you there first. All right, this is Humbly Arrogant. And remember, we may be the villains in your story, but we're the heroes in ours. Humbly Arrogant. We out.
Yes, sir.
Nah, don't turn it off, Shard.